In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 3 of Moon Knight, titled The Friendly Type. Now, this is what this show and this episode is supposed to be about. Now, we start off with Mark in Egypt, going after these guys because he wants to find out the digging site for Ahmet. Because now, Harrow knows where this digging site is, and he found it, and he starts to dig for Ahmet. Not only that, a big sequence and scene is done in this episode, and it starts around the 13-minute mark, I want to say, and it lasts about maybe 8 minutes. And basically, Khonshu manipulates the sky and gets all of the gods together under the pyramid of Giza, or inside of it for that matter, and they hold a court or a trial against what Arthur Harrow has done. Basically, they can't find anything wrong that what Arthur Harrow did, so all these Egyptian gods in their avatar form don't actually put Harrow on trial. And basically, Mark and Khonshu lose this battle in a way, for so to speak. So once that's happening, one of the gods in their avatar form tells Mark that there is a way to do this, but you have to find another pharaoh god that is entombed somewhere else, and by this guy named Anton. Now, when Mark starts asking around, we find Layla comes in, and in the beginning of this episode, Layla is making a new passport, and she's, getting it from her mother. It's her mother because of all the little details that it's given. Now, Layla and Mark share a scene, and they go to this area, and they meet up with Anton. And Anton, if you didn't know, in the comic books is the Midnight Man. And Gaspar Iliad, who is the French actor, is in one of his final starring roles. He did tragically pass away in the beginning of 2022. Now, this scene is really good. We get Moon Knight and we get Mr. Knight all in one form, because it's a big action sequence that's in your face and insane. We get a full glimpse of the Moon Knight costume and even Mr. Knight. Now, not only that, they use this Sifu, I think, or Sefru pharaoh to find out the constellation of certain things, and they do that. Now we find out that this court, or this tribunal of gods, these Egyptian gods, basically entomb Khonshu in stone, so he can't use his powers. And when that happens, it takes the powers away from Mark, so he doesn't have that Moon Knight power anymore. And we find out that the reason they did all this is because Arthur Harrow was in cahoots and, did certain things to try and manipulate how he wanted to do certain stuff. This episode was really good. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the CGI is really wonky and choppy at times, especially the stand-ins. But the ending sequence with Khonshu and Steven, and just the Mr. Knight experience about with the stars in Egypt and looking at the constellations 2,000 years ago, was really cool and really well done. Now, Madripoor is mentioned in this episode. Yeah, you think they're going to Madripoor when they're on this boat going to see Anton, but it's not. Madripoor is mentioned because Layla and Anton did have some kind of history at this area and this place. If you didn't know, Madripoor was mentioned in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's really interesting how everything is connected. I really enjoyed this episode. The story's getting better. The Egyptian lore, we're getting into that, which is always good. I do love the Egyptian lore. What's going to happen now? We have to wait to find out and see, because, this is only starting to get good right now. Episodes 1 and 2 were slow going. Pace was a little slow, but now episode 3 really picked up with the action and the story, and we do get some more history about what's going on with Layla and her history with Mark, especially her father, and the secrets that are being kept from everyone. Feels like Arthur Harrow knows more than, it's let on. Arthur Harrow in this episode was kind of annoying in a way. He wasn't as annoying in the first 2 episodes, but for some reason he was just too forceful of a character and a villain in this one. But hey, let's see what happens in the rest of this series. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 3 of Moon Knight. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Did you like the whole Egyptian lore and aspect talked about more? Did you like seeing Moon Knight and Mr. Knight in this one episode? What do you think about the CGI? What do you think about Arthur Harrow? And what do you think is going to happen in the rest of this series? Let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked. And I'll see you guys in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 4 review of Moon Knight.